Hey guys, it's 7:30. We are here. But before we get into this episode of Alleged Actually, I want to play our new intro for you guys. So here it goes. So there it goes, guys. So welcome to another episode of Alleged Actually. We are live tonight to do another pop culture Saturday. I am Sherry.
And I'm Bria. Welcome
And
back.
again, welcome back. Yeah. So, guys, we're going to give it just a few. See who's going to join us in this live broadcast. So, I hope you guys had a good weekend. I am still on the mend. I'm a little cold, so if my voice is kind of in and out, I apologize. But Bria will tell you I sound a lot better than what I did. So guys, while we're
Yes,
waiting,
100%.
yeah,
So
definitely.
grateful
So,
that.
yes, absolutely. So before we get into it, I will tell you guys we have a couple things on the roster tonight for Pop Culture Saturday. We are going to actually talk about the the Nickelodeon documentary, and on all of the poor children from back in the 90s to early 2000s. And Brie is going to really lead us off on that. It's basically called Quiet on the Set. And yeah, I found it kind of hard to watch. But I think it's necessary to talk about
Oh,
because, yeah. And
because
it's
it's
crazy.
honestly, it needs to, yeah. Are you? I think some one of us is borging a little bit.
Okay.
Hold
I
on.
think I'm okay. You okay over there?
It's just like
Let us
it's a
know.
little delayed.
Okay.
But
All
I
right.
think we're
Yeah,
fine
there
now.
is a delay.
That we, it's important that we shed light on this because it's not even just Nickelodeon or Dan Schneider. You see that there were others that were implicated in this as well, and we'll name them. Um, Also, you've got the Disney stars being like, once this NDA is up, our time is next. So it does. It needs to be brought to the forefront. And because this stuff, it shouldn't discuss, like, it does not need to be happening. That is disgusting.
No.
And in an where like kids are prevalent, the vetting for these producers and coaches and all of that needs to be way more thorough than it has been. So,
I
anyways,
concur.
yeah. So, Quiet on the Set is, as we've heard, a documentary based on the allegations against Dan Schneider, who was Nickelodeon's Golden Boy, produced a lot of shows like The Amanda Show, Drake and Josh, I want to say iCarly, um, like pretty much
All that.
all of the all of the big shows on Nickelodeon from like the late 90s to maybe mid like 2010s, I would say.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, so in the documentary, we had a number of former castmates from these shows that I mentioned, and then in Zoe 101 as well. Let me get this list out. Sorry, technical difficulties with my mouse. Oh, good happens. Okay, so the first one we have Drake Bell, and he alleged that Josh, no, Brian Peck. I think he was one of the voice coaches.
Yep.
He sexually y'all know what that means, abuse Drake. And, this is one of the first times that he's speaking out about it. We know that he's also dealt with his own allegations. And I just want to say, it's no excuse, no, but the facts are just facts. And there is a correlation to that, to experiencing that in your childhood and then repeating that cycle. No excuse, but there is correlation. Um,
Absolutely.
Basically, he details, the Brian Peck incident and how, and honestly, we really do also need to blame the parents because a lot of the parents knew what was going on. And Drake even hinted to the fact that his mom was privy to all of this information, but because that dollar was so good, she was like, I mean, it's not that bad, which is awful. And so, yes, the parents absolutely, the ones that turn a blind eye to this, they need to be on the burning at the stake as well. Because what? Um, and then Josh Peck, who was also Drake Bell's co-star in Drake and Josh, um, he mentions that he he never experienced any of the issues that all of these castmates, like all of his castmates did, but um, he dealt with, I guess, the brunt of, I, like they took it out on him apparently.
Right.
They were being harmed, he wasn't, and that was his association with all of this. He said the repercussion from like Dan doing all of these things, he was bullied as a result of that. And it's, I'm not trying to minimize, but I'm sure that he went through a tough time as a child. So he was if we all remember, he was a bigger kid,
Yeah.
um, and he was bullied by his castmates, and mainly because his castmates were jealous that he didn't have to endure what they were enduring.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think that was the extent. It was also brought up that Josh had Dan at his wedding, and Drake was not there. And so a lot of people side eye that, but I mean, there's no but. Honestly, that is kind of crazy. But I don't think that Josh really knew all of that was going on. He just knew that he was getting picked on a lot, and it didn't come out until years later that that was why. And that was the thing. There are a few others. I feel I don't want to go into all of them because they all kind of the similar story, but like we will, I guess we'll go down the list. Alexa Nicholas. She was on Zoe 101. She played, it looks like one of, this was the show that had, what is her name? Jamie Lynn Spears as the main character. She played one of her
Hmm.
friends. She was, of course, she was one of the victims. Angelique Bates from all that. She spoke out about why she actually declined initially. Um, and she, it's all of these, celebrities still they deal with it, but there's also kind of an underlying or an unspoken rule in Hollywood that hey, you keep this, you don't tell nobody, you didn't see nothing, you don't tell nobody,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
if you do, your career is
Over.
finished. Like you never work again. And
To
so,
include the
with
parents.
that being yes, and coaxed by the parents as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just
Here's
it
some
goes into
things.
all of that, and I really like what. Yeah, good.
Some things that I
No, go
was going
ahead.
to point out that I actually saw, because I did watch some of it, and one thing that I saw that I thought, now, transparent moment. Back in those days, my children watched, but I did not watch with them. A lot of the stuff that I watched with them is when they were younger. By the time these shows came out, they were preteens to teens, and were I felt the ability to watch Nickelodeon. I didn't feel that it was something I had to monitor. But looking back now, they talk about
No,
how.
we did watch.
I'm sorry.
I think it's delayed. It's. I think I'm delayed.
Yeah,
Let
you're
me
in and
like
out.
go out and come back in. I'm sorry.
Okay. All
I
right.
don't know. Let
Okay.
me.
Let's try that.
Wait.
Okay. All right. Well, while Bria's gonna try to come back in and see if we can get that sound fixed over there, what I basically was saying was what I didn't realize by not paying attention to it as closely as I should, or maybe watching it with um, innocent set of eyes, that some of their skits over sexualize those girls, and as a result, they showed some of the footage, and it honestly was shocking. They showed, the big deal on Nickelodeon was the whole sliming thing. And they showed different scenes from Jamie Lynn Spears, Ariana Grande, where they would particularly make sure they would have the girls laying on the bed or laying upside down, and the slime shot would hit them in the face. It just, you'd really have to watch it, to really understand the implications of what it did have sexual innuendos. And when, in passing, when my kids are watching, I really didn't think anything, but looking back, the whole slime thing, the way they did it was very odd. Dan Schneider had a very sick way of sick humor, very sick humor. And that did not only, all right, I think Bria's coming back. Let me add her back, guys. Just a second. Hey, Bria, is it better now?
Okay. Yes, you're coming in a lot clearer, and yeah, I
Good.
think it was something. Am I still freezing a little bit? Good.
Not really, just a little. So,
Okay. I still feel like it's a little delayed. Okay.
okay. Can you hear me though?
But it's okay. Well, I'll just. I can hear you. It's just delayed. So what I'm gonna do is after I'm done speaking, because we're just gonna roll with it. It's something's messed up, but whatever. We'll roll with it. But I'll just hands like thought, I guess, whatever. Stick my thumb up whenever I'm done talking. So that cool,
Okay.
and you'll do the same.
So let me finish what I was saying while you went out. So, I was saying that when I
Okay.
watched the documentary, that one of the things I found that was really troubling was the way some of the young girls and boys were over sexualized. And a lot of people realize, Nickelodeon was big on the whole slime thing. And with that, there were some scenes where you'd see Jamie Lynn Spears or Ariana Grande get slimed in the face, on the forehead, laying down, like on the backside of the bed, where it was sexual innuendos. There was also a scene where Ariana Grande was laying on the upside down on the back of her bed, saying she was thirsty and throwing water on herself, and it just nothing that should be done. What's
Mhm.
that?
Did you see the little potato thing too?
That was insane.
That
Yeah,
was
yeah,
insane. And if I were
that
her
was insane.
father, if I
Yeah.
were her father, I would want him. Yeah,
Hmm. And that's what I'm saying.
because they.
So yeah, that was crazy. So Y'all, if you haven't watched it, it's not easy. But the reason that we like to bring attention to it is because, like we've said before, all these things now are just coming to the light. You know, what's done in the dark will come to the light. Young actors and actresses have had a hard way in Hollywood because they don't always have a voice. And adults have repeatedly, these are not the first, you can go all the way back to child stars of the 60s, 50s, all the way through, where children have been taken advantage of by the adults that they should be able to trust. It is a shame and disgrace. And sadly, Nickelodeon is no different, with sadly Disney getting ready to, well, allegedly, possibly being next to be exposed on some of their shows. And so,
I mean, even, and I wanted to highlight because, a lot of these child stars, we say, oh my goodness, like they always turn out so insane. This would be why. The reason, and, when Amanda Bynes came out earlier and, posting from that fake Twitter account because, she had a conservatorship and she wasn't able to really post and like actualize as an adult. She couldn't do that. And, people thought she was insane and just on drugs. And, but that gives credence to why, like, and then Orlando Brown as well. We know he went off the deep end and spiraled. It was confirmed that, he also dealt with some of the same things. This is a problem. This is a problem, and it's been a long time coming for like this to be recognized as the big problem that it is. But I am so happy and so proud of all of these, the former castmates and everyone who's spoken out and like bringing this to light and getting justice for their younger selves and the future children that are to come. So
I agree.
good on y'all.
Amen. Amen. And I just want to add, guys, a strange fact is that Amanda Bynes declined to be filmed for this documentary, her nor her parents, because it was stated that that wasn't their experience, which I find odd. I also find odd because she was widely spoken about throughout the
Yeah,
documentary because she was
absolutely.
Dan Schneider's muse. I mean, that is the Amanda show was
It's
his big one. Yeah. Go
Yes,
ahead.
it was alleged that she had an abortion at 13 and it was his baby. Now, if
Mm.
that does it, and then you're pretty much coached into saying that this is okay and to not tell anybody, and that can send anyone into a tizzy. Okay, that
Absolutely.
can make anyone just go insane. So,
Absolutely.
like I said, and this, I'm saying allegedly, but I believe it wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we don't have a whole lot more on that. We will keep watching as things come out. Well, we're going to switch gears a little bit and go into the feud between NeNe Leakes and Porsha Williams.
Yes.
Y'all, on the heels of what initially was, I thought, was a very exciting announcement that Porsha would be joining the franchise, because it's not a secret. We do our reality TV show recaps, and everybody knows I am a fan of all things Bravo. So the fact that the last 3 to 4 years, the Real Housewives of Atlanta have been completely playing in our faces. It was
It has
so
not been
so
good. It's
no,
not
it
been
was so
good.
time for a shakeup. And the most exciting news was Candy was not returning. Y'all. Bye.
She's a boss, and she's, I'm well, good on you. I'm sure she's very rich, but she is not entertaining in the slightest.
No, it's time for her to go do something else. And I have no
Yeah,
doubts that we're going to see wonderful things from Miss Burris.
absolutely.
And, I
Absolutely.
fully hope so and am supportive of that. But I did not want to see her on another season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. And clearly I wasn't by myself. So Porsha was announced to come back, which, we all have seen her in her new marriage to Simon Gubadiah. It seems like they've been jet setting and just living the life. It was going to be so exciting for her to bring that to the cast, only to right there the week after they had celebrated Valentine's Day for Porsha to file for divorce. Y'all, I thought it was a hoax at first, but no, ma'am.
That show was her out, okay? It
It
was
was
her
her
out.
out, and we're going to talk about why. Then we're going to get into why Porsha and NeNe are beefing. So it has been alleged, not only alleged, but proven that Mr. Gubadiah has had quite the past in trying to achieve his U.S. citizenship. He has got a criminal history of bank fraud, wire fraud, alleged, it was alleged, well, not a robber, but alleged stealing of some vehicles, just a sordid list of things that perhaps the lifestyle that he had portrayed that him and Porsha were going to live seemed as though it wasn't quite what she thought she signed up for. So Miss Porsha decided, honey, she was going to get out. She did not want to have to be dealing with that. Those girls on Real Housewives were going to eat her alive. Just to add, y'all, not only is Candy not coming back, but Marlo is also not coming back, and Sonia is not coming back. So we will have Porsha, Drew Sidora, Kenya, and a new comer, Ming Lee, and another individual that I have to fact check and get her name. So, with that being stated, it appears that Porsha is put in the seat to kind of, I guess, I don't even want to say take Candy's place because we want her to do something different, child. But she was slated to come in and be that girl, be the anchor of the cast, if you will. And with that being said, now she has all this drama behind her name, which is actually going to be good for the show with the new separation and pending divorce of her husband, Simon. And now let's fast forward to her and Miss Leaks. We also know that NeNe has certainly had her fair share of issues regarding Bravo, NBC Universal, and the beloved Andy Cohen. NeNe has been very vocal about being mistreated, disrespected, um, feeling that she wasn't, that the Black women that were castmates were not treated as fairly or treated in the same regard as their white counterparts. And she has been long time, really on the campaign for something to be done, for that to be called into the light. And at this point, she is getting ready to settle if she has not already. Now, with that has also come her alleging that her career has been blackballed. She has not been able to work. She has had multiple opportunities, and just when she's getting ready to sign the dotted line, something happens and the opportunity is no longer available to her. And so it was just recently, we've seen her do a few little things. She's done Celebrity College Hill. She's now working with the Zeus Network, which the sister's got to, get her checks. I'm not mad, but I wouldn't
Absolutely.
be honest if I didn't say I was disappointed in having to see her go there.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
they
It
say them
was
Zeus checks are good.
mhm. Yeah, and it was shocking, but not a good shocking. Like we were like, what is she doing? What is going
Right.
clearly clearly she's feeling if she's on Zeus, then I would say that she's feeling now financial effects of being blacklisted because Zeus is so, I mean, when she is way classier than that entire network. That is,
I concur.
yes, disappointed.
I
Disappointed.
So she got an opportunity to star in an episode of the Netflix show The Upshaws. And she was really excited about that because not only was that supposed to be, an opportunity for her to get on, a Netflix fairly high rated show, she was going to get the opportunity to work with Porsha Williams. And I don't know if you guys know, but they have been spotted everywhere within the past year, traveling together, double dating, because Simon is friends with NeNe's boyfriend, Yanni, her on again, off again, boo. And so they have not only, double dated around Atlanta, they've traveled all the way to Dubai together. So she certainly had no clue that there was an issue. I think this is a good time for us to check out what NeNe had to say on her. It's a clip of it on TikTok, but it was on her Instagram regarding the incident with Miss Porsha. So hang on just a second, guys, and I'm going to share that with you all.
I am shocked to hear that Porsha would go to a production company and say that she doesn't want to work with me because we've had a lot of issues in the past. What lots of issues that we had in the past. Mind you guys, I haven't been a housewife in over 4.5 years, okay? Besides that, as Black women, okay, when you call a Black woman angry, difficult, we've got problems, I can't work with them on set, that is a death trap for a Black woman in the industry. We don't have any issues that we can't work together. We are professionals. We get on set and we work together and do what we got to do. Your issues in the past, if you had to pick a housewife, it certainly wouldn't be with me. It would have been with Kenya. It would have been with Candy. Those were your major issues. We've had petty things. We're on a reality show. So we obviously are going to have some sort of issues, but we've not had anything where we could not work together. I'm sad and disappointed that Porsha would go to any company and say that she's had issues with me and we cannot work together. That is a lie. I text her. So it's not like I'm doing this video, I didn't text her. I text her. And she sent me a text back saying that she's going through her divorce and I didn't reach out to little sis. Are you serious? You and your husband were just happy and smiling in Dubai. I thought you guys were having a fight and maybe you guys are going to get back together. I don't know what y'all personal business are. I don't want to be nosy, okay? I don't want to invade your privacy. Maybe you need some time. I don't know what you need. I was happy to see her and talk to her and chop it up then. I don't want to pry. Yes, Yanni and Simon are hanging out together, but that has nothing to do with me. I'm not hanging out with Simon. Yanni's hanging out with Simon. I can't change this relationship.
So, guys, I think that gives you guys the idea of what's going on here. So, apparently, after Porsha filed for divorce, she was not happy that apparently that NeNe continued to socialize with him, which is ridiculous. I agree with NeNe. There's been some other, let's say, other thoughts on why this is happening. A lot of people think it's because of her new contract with Bravo and NBC Universal, and that perhaps they do not want to see Porsha promoting or working with NeNe in any capacity. You want to weigh in there, Bria? Bria?
Um, yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. But sorry guys, we're having technical difficulties on this live stream. I am coming in very delayed, and I think I'm hearing my mom speak like way after she. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but bear with us. Mom, you asked me to weigh in on how I feel about this entire situation with Porsha and NeNe. Okay. I feel that Porsha is on puppet strings. I feel that she's, you know, she's going to side with the all, who's paying her, right? And so we all know that Andy and NeNe are going through a legal battle. I don't think they've settled yet. I think it's still ongoing. And so I think that what Porsha is doing is throwing rocks and kind of hiding her hands, not really being genuine about why she's not wanting to work with NeNe. I think that, Porsha strikes me as somebody who is, she's about the bag. So if it's going to affect that bag, she's going to be like, I need it out of my way and out of my face. So NeNe, I know that and I love, we love some NeNe. Okay. I think it's awful that this is being done to her, considering the fact that the first season that Porsha was on, Candy and NeNe both rallied to have her stay on for a second season because Andy was about to be like, she's boring, get her out of here. So it just is it's a slap in the face. I understand why NeNe is so upset because I'm going through my issues with him, but I'm thinking we're friends outside of all of this. Like, but it just wasn't that. And it sucks, but the friends that you meet in businesses where like you benefit, then like they can get some benefit off of you, take that friendship with the smallest grain of salt. And I'm not saying be fake, but always keep your eyes open because, and it's sad. It's sad, really sad.
It is.
I hate to see
And
it.
I want to address our viewer in the chat, Camille Murphy. Hey,
Yay.
Thanks for tuning in.
Hey, Camille.
Yeah, and
I
agree
Camille,
with you, Camille. Yes, Camille. I agree with you. I was looking forward to Porsha coming back now, and I'm rethinking it too. It just seems to be more of the same foolishness that has kept the Real Housewives of Atlanta back. They can't have these connections and storylines that aren't about a bunch of mess that are not tied to other things. It's just giving. It's made me a lot less excited about her coming back to the franchise as well. It really has. It has. So thank you 100%. For your comment. And so, Bria, with that being said, our girl NeNe is never to be outdone. And so, with all the back and forth, she just had to get one more thing in there. So she did a little petty thing. Not sure how I feel about that. But here we go, guys. Let me show you what she decided to do. So this one here. Yeah. She decided her and her on again, off again boyfriend, Yoni, decided to go on a double date with Simon and his new boo. And she is a fitness influencer on social media, the same one that they speculated he was on the yacht with. So that was a nice how do you do, guys. But in true NeNe form, hey, I mean, Porsha. And then we have the text messages. And she kind of already alluded to what was said in the text, but I'll read those to you. Basically, it says, "Hey, Porsha, I hope you're doing well. I'm shocked to hear that we have issues and you didn't want to work with me. Wow, just wow. We have double dated a few times. Vegas, Miami, your home, etc. It's sad to hear. We have hung out in Dubai. You were texting me about housewives. This is sad. We are Black women that need to work, not stopping each other from working." Porsha says, "Yeah, all of that and through all of this. And this is your first text. How? Who and how the F do you not even check on little sis? Enough said, you chose a side, and I'm good with that. People weird as F. I've shown loyalty time and time. I've also shown concern and genuine love during all of your hardships. But I never get it back. It's cool though. When people move differently, so do I." And she said, "You were wrong in every way. You went extremely too far. Nothing you are saying is valid enough to go to a production company and say you do not want to work with NeNe because we have issues in the past. I gave you your space." And that's basically where it kind of ends. So, guys, here we go again. And all I have to say is it is disappointing. We're just going to have to see what this season's going to bring. I'm not feeling we're going to get the authentic Porsha. We're going to get the puppet mastered Porsha looking like doing what she needs to do to secure the bag. So, absolutely. Bria, any more words before we wrap this Pop Culture Saturday up?
Yes, I just want to apologize to the actualizers for telling a story that I did last time. I felt so disrespected, and I just wanted, and she had, mentioned that we had a podcast because she stalks me. So I just wanted to let her know. But this and that will be the last time that she'll ever be brought up or anything like that will ever be brought up on this podcast, because that is not what we do over here. I don't, want to be a mean girl. I don't want to do, and it took me out of character, and I want to apologize to the viewers for that. So, sorry. But that's
those that don't know what she's referring to, I wasn't able to go on Thursday because I've been under the weather. Bria did a live for our Married at First Sight Denver, and she told a little personal story there. Get a little thing off her chest. Child, I don't know.
Yeah.
And if it'll help somebody.
And maybe that story. Yeah, hopefully it'll let women know to never, ever, ever settle, and let and then have that be their outcome. Because my God, you'll be
well, guys,
life, and then here.
Yes. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We're just still trying this live thing out, so bear with us. We're going to try it again until we get it right. So I hope you'll keep coming back. I will be back on Monday, where I will be now recapping Martha's Vineyard from Bravo. And hopefully that'll be a good season for us to dive into. It's the second season of it. Hopefully there'll be some good content, but I will be back on Monday to recap that show. Then if you'll tune in with us on Thursday for one of the few last episodes of Married at First Sight Denver. And then Saturday, we're going to come back with some more Pop Culture Saturday. I'm sorry. So guys, thank you again so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, anything that you want to see us talk about or anything that you have to tell us, feedback, positive, even negative, honey, put it in the comments because we're still always trying to improve. Also, I do want to announce that we will be present at the iHeartRadio Black Effects Podcast Festival taking place in Atlanta, Georgia on April 27th. So those of you that can come out, we will not be featured or anything. We're just going to be out there learning, networking, but we will be out there. We will be out there in our t-shirts and sweatshirts. And so if you see us, say hi. If you watch, let us know. Maybe a little encouragement, because this is not always easy, but we do it because we love it. So thank you guys so much for your support. And on that note, Bria, you get the last words.
Okay. All right. I love you. To all the subscribers out there, we love you. We see you. We're grateful for you, and we appreciate you. Thank you so, so much. See you next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.